What's up, guys? We're gonna build beats, and today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make some quick beats with hard-hitting drums. If you guys haven't subbed already, or turn post on these as you do so, good does help a lot. So let's hop right into it. So just the default BPM today. I'm not gonna be using a scale because I'm gonna just show you how to make some real quick. So let's just go ahead and we can just start making a melody already. All right, so first up we have a guitar, and this part is pretty easy because we just want to go for something a little dark, something simple. So what we can do is steal from the harmonic minor. And pretty much all you need to do is just place two notes right together, and then skip a space and just copy this and just kind of copy this pattern. And this should be all you need. I could grab in a scale, but I think it's important to kind of know how to build this stuff out and how to just get melodies without help sometimes. So we can take this and we just pull this over, and then let's change to, let's do the third grid. And then what we can do is just kind of build up and then just use the next note and copy that over. Okay, now from here, what we can do, just so it's not repeating the whole time, we can change this part up. We can move this up one and then just adjust the notes. And I think I left this one by itself. Something like that. All right, and of course there are other notes you can use, but let's delete this and copy this over. And then now what we need is to make this a little bit more full by adding a bass note. So you can still choose one of these notes. So we can actually use this D sharp, or you can use the D, whatever you want. So let's pull this down, see what this sounds like. That might be too low. Right, and you could, oh wait, pull this up. And you could use any of these notes that you think sounds good, right? So you can use this one, right? But I'm gonna stick with this one. I like this one the most. And then we can just use this old trick where you just go down 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just pull it over. Simple as that. I'm gonna just show the whole pattern. All right, so that is our main pattern. So now we just need a counter melody. All right, so now we got our counter melody, and it's just the same exact guitar, you know, just keeping it simple. So what we can do now is just use this to kind of start our little counter, and it doesn't need to, and it's only 4 notes, so it doesn't need to be this extravagant melody, right? Still in 1/3, okay? And then what I like to do with stuff like this is you can hold Alt, click and drag till it's like this, and it'll play all the way through. Instead of, if you have it like this, it will stop. Right? Okay, so what we can do, try something like this. Let's play with the velocity a little bit. Make sure y'all can see that. Let's see what this would be like. And then over here, we can just change a few notes up. So let's just move this one down. And then we can maybe move this one up like that. Let's see what that sounds like. All right, pretty decent to me. So that is the counter, and let's move on to what we have next, 808. Okay, so instead of the 808, I'm gonna start with the drums first because we want our 808 to kind of be molded to the rhythm of our drums and not the other way around. We're just gonna start with our snare. So we place this in just like this, and I like to pull it up to just about the top, not entirely, right? Okay, so at the end, and I'm gonna give you all the grids and everything you need to kind of make your own patterns. So I'm in the thirds pattern, so I'm gonna switch to the second with a half beat. We could place one here, and then if you want to, you could try to do something like this, right? And then you have to play with the velocities a bit. So you could try something like this, and it's gonna sound weird because of the BPM, but you know. Something like that, and that's very simple. Now, if you want to go more advanced, right, something that you would hear like on a song or something, you would want to use the 1/3 step. And this will kind of give you that sound that you're probably looking for. We got to find a right spot for this. Right, something like that. I'm sure you've heard something like that before, so I'm gonna switch these around. Okay, so that is the snare. We can move on to our hi-hat. Okay, so now we're gonna start our hi-hats. Now, the reason I'm kind of breaking everything down in segments is so that you can actually take the patterns and the techniques and build your own stuff without having to watch videos or whatever. So the first thing you want to do with your hi-hat is find a consistent rhythm, right? Something you can bob your head to, something like that. So that's why you see a lot of people when they make their patterns, they kind of just do a basic one first like this. Right? And then from here, what you want to do is kind of edit it. So take things out, you know, add chops, whatever you want to do. So I'm gonna just take some out where I feel like they should. So I turn it up a bit. So right here, I'm feeling a chop. So I'm gonna kind of pull this down, and then we could change the grid. Could probably just do 1/4 for this one. And then kind of a chop right here, and I might do some a little smaller. You press Control U, you can chop it to whatever grid, and that might not be small enough. Let me see. Let's see if I add one here, how that would sound. Okay, I like that. It's a lot smoother. And then with these, I kind of you can hold right click and kind of drag it up. All right, just give it a little bit of, you know, something different. And then maybe at the end, we could just add like a little something. Okay, and then let's copy that over. All right, so that is the first part of the hi-hat. So now I'm gonna stop it here, and then we can kind of do the second part, which is pretty easy. All right, so for the second part of the hi-hats, what we need to do is just change our grid, and it's just to make everything a little bit easier. Now you can go crazy with these, or you can go very simple. Now you would typically see like these lower notes with this, right? Or even higher, right? So I'm gonna just go through, and where you want to place these is right before like a clap is about to hit, or like a snare. All right, so you would typically see something like that, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and throw some in, so we could do something like this, and I'm gonna just try to do this quickly. Okay, and then we can just copy this over. Maybe let's mess with the velocity a bit, just so it's not being too annoying right here. And then right, so from here, right, so this is pretty much all you need to do, and you can use this brush to kind of paint these in, but we can go to pan, and if you want, you can highlight some, and you can pan one left to right just to kind of be a little fancy. I probably want to do it the other way. And then let's click this, so we don't mess up our panning. And then on this side, you can switch grids up, right? So we can, let's do thirds, and let's use this paint tool, and we could do something like that. Let's see what that sounds like. Let's do 1/4. It's kind of hard to see where the half point is, so I'm gonna just try my best to get it in the right spot. All right, so from here, go back here, and we can just do something like that, and then copy this back over. And I'm trying to go slow. I'm kind of tempted to go fast, but I'm trying to make sure I go slow. Oh, and then pull that down. Let's see what that sounds like. Right, and then you can mess with the velocities, but I'm gonna just cut it here. If we want to, maybe we could pan this one time, something like that. All right, so that's the hi-hats, and now we can kind of go ahead and rush through kind of the percs. All right, so now we have percs. Now this is easy if you do your hi-hats first, because all you have to do is kind of just play off of where these things hit. So right, so maybe a spot right here, something like that, right? So I'm gonna go through and just place them where I think I want to put them, right? And you can also take some of these techniques and stuff and use them on your percs, right? But you don't want to go too crazy. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and get this done. All right, so these are the percs. I'll just play them one time through. Okay, so our drums are done. So now we can kind of add our 808 and kick. All right, so for our bass, we're just gonna copy our original bass line and then paste it over here. Turn everything up. And then what you wanna do is pull these over one. And the reason for that is so that you don't lose the bounce, because if it's on the grid, it's gonna lose the bounce. And also, so we can make our drums hit harder, is we're gonna put this envelope on and then just turn everything down except the hold. And that way you have control over the dynamic of the drums. So for example, this 808 will probably linger over the snare, right? But if you stop it right before the snare hits, it'll make it seem like it's hitting a little bit harder, right? Right, it just creates a cool little dynamic. So we can keep that there, and then maybe over here we can do one and stop it right before. And then let's pull this up and pull this. Actually, let's do it opposite, something like that. Okay, and then now we just gotta add our kick just to kind of put some punch. And I like to double my kicks just so it has a little bit more of a low end. You don't need to do that, it's just a personal thing. And then I'm just gonna place these like this, and then we could double them up. Okay, you can see they're hitting hard already. So what I'm gonna do now is just show you some presets and mastering effects you can use to kind of enhance this all together. All right, so quickly, I'm gonna just go over some effects you can use to kind of enhance the drums and the mix overall. So usually I just put all my drums into a bus, not the kick and 808 though. And then what you can do is put a transient processor. Now this will usually give you a little bit of bounce because it's gonna make the decay, right? If you do it right, it's gonna make the decay of each sound faster, right? So it's gonna hit a little bit faster. You can see the drums have a higher sustain, so you want to chip that away a little bit. You can copy these settings if you have it. There's plenty of transient processors out there. This is just the one that I use. All right, and then something else you can do just for flavor, you can use like a gross beat, what is it, shaper box, halftime effect. And then I like this because you can affect a certain frequency, right? And I have this down to 52%, and I'll just play this. And I'm gonna just take these off. Right, just add something different to it, right? And of course you can EQ, boost the highs a bit. Okay, so for the master, now this is where everything comes together. I'm gonna just give you these settings. I'm just give you these settings. You can copy them. I might just put a link to it, right? So we got frequency splitter, super slept on. Okay, and then from there we put a soft clipper, and then we put the threshold all the way back. Okay, all the way back. Okay, and then you want to use this plugin right here. All right, I'm gonna give you these presets, don't worry. So use this, and then after that, because this is going to affect everything, right, you want to put another soft clipper, but just make this regular. Okay, and this is what it should sound like. Right, something like that. And of course you can go ahead and add more. As you can see, I don't have too much going on, but those are the key things that you will probably need. But that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully it helped out. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.